Hi, welcome to Kenny's Corner, a All-Star Break edition. Uh, Welcome. I'm Jerry. I'm your host. Well, the Red Sox made a small move today. They picked up off the waiver wire Jahmai Jones, formerly of the Detroit Tigers. He's an outfielder. He's a right-handed hitter. Last year, he was pretty good against lefties. I think that's what the Red Sox are going to give a sneak peek to. He had 287. He had 7 home runs in limited duty. So that was good. This year, not so much. He's fallen off the wagon, if you will. He's got 2 home runs and a 137 batting average. Detroit said that was enough. But it wasn't enough for the Red Sox, so they're going to take a shot at him. And it's not that bad a gamble. You know, they might want to take a chance for a couple of weeks, see what they're going to get in the trade deadline, and see what he can do over the next 2 weeks. It's a little bit of a tryout for him. They haven't really been hitting the ball. They've been winning games, but they haven't been really hitting the ball. Against the Mets, I think they got 6 or 7 hits in 3 straight games, but they won all of them. So what are you going to do? I thought with this show, in honor of, and by the way, the Red Sox sent down Nate Eaton, who I love. He hasn't been hitting, but they sent him down to Worcester. It's tough in the role that he's in. You know, you play once every 7 games. You get up. He was going to come in against a lefty. They moved and changed pitchers and brought in a righty. So he's back in Worcester, and we wish him well down there. But I was thinking about this. You know, what moves can the Red Sox make at the deadline, both small and large? And one of the problems with the added teams in the playoffs is that most teams are still in it, and if you're still in it, you don't want to be a seller. So what do? Well, there are a few teams that you can possibly pick up some guys from. And I made a list, and I was starting to think, and then I thought big too. So we'll get to that. The Angels, Jorge Soler, he's got 11 home runs, 42 RBIs. That's good. He's got a 211 average, 211 batting average. That's not. He'd be a DH. Wouldn't cost you much, I don't think. And it would help a little bit to have a little bit more punch in the lineup. Brett Rooker from the A's. He's got 10 home runs, 29 RBIs. He's hitting a robust 200. Now, don't get mad at me for these. I'm looking, and there just isn't that much out there. And now let's go to the more positive. San Francisco will trade Luis Arraez. He's hitting 330. He's a second baseman. Now, I've grown to love Anthony Ziegler, and I'd hate to displace him, but 330 is 330, and that would be a leadoff hitter for the Sox, and that would be awfully good. It would totally turn their offense right around, give you another hitter at the top of that lineup. And he's only under contract for the rest of the year, so there really wouldn't be that much of and he will be traded. Make no mistake about that. Unless the Giants go on some sort of tear like the Red Sox just did, but I don't see that happening. I think San Francisco is going to clean house. So that's a possibility. What you'd have to give up, probably not that much, because you're going to eat the rest of his contract, which is just for the rest of this year. I think it's about $12 million. Easy for me to say, right? But then I thought, let's think a little bit bigger. And there's a couple of guys on the Mets that I think they might be willing to deal. I looked up the other day how each of the teams financially, and the Mets are losing money like you can't believe. Now, they have an owner that has more money than anyone. So it's not that big a deal, but he's hemorrhaging money there, and he might just think, you know what, enough is enough. And I was looking at Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette's got a 3-year deal. He's already said he's going to opt out after this year. Would he opt out if he was with the Red Sox? I think everybody wants to get out of Citi Field, but you'd hope so. But he's a good hitter. Excuse me. He's got 10 home runs, 51 RBIs, hitting 255. He's a better hitter than that. Really hurts you in the field if you put him anywhere out there. But it would give you a guy that you can add to the lineup, and he'd be a lot of extra punch anywhere in that lineup from 2 to 5. So that's something to keep in mind. And then I thought, well, I saw this written in a couple other spots about Francisco Lindor. Would the Mets really give up on him? He's been sort of a clubhouse problem, mainly from political reasons, believe it or not. And he has a certain affiliation for certain people that rubs his teammates the wrong way. It's one of the reasons that they had to make the deal with Texas to get that guy out of there, because he couldn't get along with Lindor. All right. So, by the way, Lindor doesn't get along with Soto either. So from what I've read. So I think it's possible. What would you have to give up? And I was starting to think about that. Would they want? I'm going to throw a few things out there. And once again, I don't know how desperate they would be to pair payroll. But could you make a move where you give up Kyan Witherspoon, who's I think the number 3 prospect for the Red Sox right now, right-handed pitcher. He was the number 1 pick in the draft a couple of years back. Hasn't done all that well, but he's got fantastic stuff and a great arm. Him along with Meyer, who still has some value. And now here's where the rub gets in. I'm thinking of throwing Story in. Now they don't want Story, but the Red Sox are going to be taking $37 million a year for the next 5 years off their books. Story is only in their contract through next year, so maybe you could get him to swing that. If not, I'm wondering, I know they'd be asking for Franklin Arias, and I would hate to give up him, but if you're getting Lindor in return, he's going to be your shortstop for the next 5 years. So somewhere in there, you could make the numbers work. If you were to swing something with Arias and Kyan Witherspoon and something else, you would have to consider that you're going to have to just basically give Trevor Story his release, because nobody would be taking him other than in a deal where you were taking a lot of money back. And that's a lot of money for John Henry to eat next year, $20 million. So I don't know. But these are the thoughts that are going, and we still don't know, quite frankly, whether the Red Sox are going to be a buyer or a seller. I don't think they know. It's August 3rd. It's coming up. It is now the 14th. So we're 20 days away. So they're going to have to be making these decisions somewhere down the road. But no question that a guy like Lindor, even with that error on Sunday, would be a added plus for what they've got right now. He's 2-time Gold Glove winner. Usually hits about 30 home runs in a year. This year he's only got 5, 270 batting average. You wonder if he's about to get hot and be the back of his baseball card, or if this is the beginning of a long-term decline. That's stuff that insiders would know better than I. But those are the things that I'm thinking. I'd like to see the Red Sox be willing to throw something big at the wall, bigger than Jorge Soler, Brett Rooker, or some of these other guys, Paladins, Jahmai Jones or James, whatever his name happened to be, Jones. I don't think he's going to make a difference in the long run. Bichette could, and so could Lindor. Now, we've got guys coming off the disabled list, and Rob Bradford was on AEI, and they asked him, all right, of the 4 big guys, Trevor Story, Marcelo Meyer, Garrett Crochet, Roman Anthony, give me the order in which you think they'll be back. And it was a very disappointing order. I hope he's wrong. Trevor Story was first. He doesn't help us a bit. Marcelo Meyer is second. He doesn't help us a bit. I'll take Anthony Ziegler over him. Guy on the internet wrote every day of the week and twice on Sunday. And I wrote, I think that's ridiculous. I wouldn't go as far as twice on Sunday. But I would rather have Anthony Ziegler right now than Marcelo Meyer. 2 years from now, probably not. Meyer's got a lot of ability, more ability than Ziegler. But Ziegler, he comes to play. Let's give you some examples. Durbin has his finger go out of the joint, and he's back the next day. He wanted to stay in that night. Ziegler slides into home, and Teal bangs into him with his knee pads. If that's Meyer, he's out for 3 weeks, minimum. Ziegler's back the next day, batting leadoff. He knows this is his break. Contreras gets hurt, comes back into the game, and then has to take himself out, but he wanted to stay in. So there's just a vibe on the team right now that is really good, and you'd hate to mess that up with putting the wrong person in there. And you wonder about Anthony. I was saying who was coming back. Meyer was second. Third was Anthony, who's now enjoying the sun of Fort Myers. And fourth was Garrett Crochet. And I don't even know if Garrett Crochet is coming back this year. And they were saying when it first happened, oh, this will be a short stay. He's missed a year before. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's look at it this way. If Crochet was better right now, today, he would be pitching for another month because he's got to get back up and running. That would be bullpen sessions, first throwing off a flat ground, then bullpen sessions, then throwing the live hitters, then a rehab starter or two. So it's going to be a while. Now, if you can make a comeback and you're still in the race, all more. But right now, the Red Sox have 3 pitchers on the DL. So Suarez should be coming out shortly. Connolly Early hasn't started throwing yet. They need those guys back. So it'll be interesting to see what they do and whether they still feel they're a buyer or a seller. I think they've been both ways. Before they played the Yankees, it was well known that they had their people out and they were a seller. They weren't even looking to buy. Now, a lot's happened since then. They've won, 13 out of 15, somewhere around there, maybe even more. So they're doing okay. 14 out of 16. So things change. And they could change again, or they could continue doing this way. We won't know until this weekend. So hopefully nobody gets hurt today in the All-Star game for anybody, but especially our Sox. And we go from there. So that's our show for today. We got a new viewer today. I saw a new subscriber. Keep going out there. If you're new to us, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It helps the algorithm. And if you'd like, leave a comment. If you think some of these trades you like or don't like, let me know that too. I'll read them. Talk to you soon.